In the quiet moments of our lives, when we pause to reflect on the nature of our existence and the quality of our relationships with others, we often discover that the way we communicate holds far more power than we ever imagined. Paramahansa Yogananda, the great spiritual teacher who brought the ancient wisdom of yoga to the Western world, understood this profound truth with remarkable clarity. He taught that a single day, just 24 hours, could fundamentally transform the way we speak to and interact with our fellow human beings, and in doing so, revolutionize our entire experience of life. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, give me a like, comment below about your thought and hit subscribe button so you don't miss any video inspired by Yogananda's teaching. Thank you very much. The essence of Yogananda's teaching on communication rests on a deceptively simple premise: that our words are not merely sounds that travel through the air, but living forces that carry the vibrations of our consciousness, our intentions, and our spiritual state. When we speak to another person, we are not simply exchanging information or making idle conversation. We are transmitting energy, sharing our inner world, and either building bridges of understanding or erecting walls of separation. The quality of this exchange depends entirely on the consciousness from which we speak. Yogananda emphasized that most people move through their days in a state of mechanical unconsciousness when it comes to speech. We react rather than respond. We speak from habit, from conditioning, from the accumulated patterns of our past rather than from the fresh awareness of the present moment. We allow our moods, our frustrations, our anxieties, and our ego-driven desires to color every word that leaves our lips. In this state, our communication becomes a source of suffering rather than connection, creating misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and unnecessary conflict. But what if we could change this pattern? What if we could dedicate just one day to speaking with complete awareness, with genuine kindness, with the recognition that every person we encounter is a soul on their own journey, deserving of respect, compassion, and understanding? Yogananda taught that such a commitment, if undertaken with sincerity and sustained attention, could create a breakthrough in consciousness that would ripple outward into all areas of our lives. The practice begins the moment we wake up. Before we speak our first words of the day, we take a few moments to center ourselves in silence. We connect with the deeper reality of who we are beyond our thoughts, our emotions, and our social roles. We remember that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that everyone we will encounter today shares this same essential nature. From this place of remembrance, we set an intention: today, every word I speak will be infused with awareness, kindness, and truth. As we move through the morning and begin to interact with family members, roommates, or colleagues, we notice the impulse to speak before we actually speak. This is crucial. So often, words tumble out of our mouths before we've had a chance to consider whether they're necessary, whether they're kind, whether they're true. By creating a tiny gap between the impulse to speak and the act of speaking, we give ourselves the opportunity to choose our words consciously rather than simply reacting from habit. In this gap, we can ask ourselves several important questions. Is what I'm about to say true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Will it contribute to greater understanding and harmony, or will it create confusion and discord? These questions, simple as they may seem, have the power to transform our communication completely. They act as filters that allow only the most beneficial speech to pass through, while catching the harsh words, the unnecessary criticisms, the thoughtless comments that we might otherwise release into the world without consideration. Yogananda taught that the tone of our voice carries as much meaning as the words themselves. We can speak the same sentence in a dozen different ways, and each variation will create a completely different effect in the listener. A question asked with genuine curiosity opens doors of communication, while the same question asked with sarcasm or suspicion slams those doors shut. A statement delivered with warmth and respect invites connection, while the same statement delivered with coldness or condescension creates distance and defensiveness. Throughout this transformative day, we pay careful attention to our tone. We notice when irritation creeps into our voice, when impatience makes our words sharp, when stress causes us to speak more quickly and harshly than we intend. And in noticing these patterns, we gently correct them. We soften our tone. We slow down. We breathe. We remember that the person we're speaking to is not an obstacle to be overcome or a problem to be solved, but a fellow human being worthy of our respect and consideration. One of the most powerful aspects of this practice involves learning to listen with the same quality of awareness that we bring to our speaking. True communication is not a one-way street where we simply broadcast our thoughts and opinions to others. It's a dynamic exchange that requires us to be fully present, not just when we're talking, but when we're listening as well. Yogananda emphasized that most people don't really listen to each other. Instead, they wait for their turn to speak, mentally rehearsing what they're going to say next while the other person is still talking. When we commit to changing how we talk to people, we must also commit to changing how we listen. This means giving our complete attention to the person who is speaking. It means setting aside our own agenda, our own need to be right, our own desire to interject our opinions and experiences. It means listening not just to the words being spoken, but to the feelings and intentions behind those words. It means being willing to be changed by what we hear, rather than simply using the other person's words as a springboard for our own monologue. As the day progresses, we inevitably encounter challenging situations. Someone says something that triggers us emotionally. A colleague makes a comment that we find offensive or unfair. A family member pushes our buttons in that special way that only family members can. These moments are the real test of our commitment to conscious communication. It's easy to speak with awareness and kindness when everything is going smoothly. The true transformation happens when we can maintain that awareness and kindness even in the face of provocation. In these difficult moments, Yogananda would counsel us to pause, to breathe, to create space between the stimulus and our response. In that space lies our freedom. We don't have to react automatically from our conditioning. We can choose to respond from our highest self, from our spiritual center. We can choose to speak words that de-escalate rather than inflame, that seek to understand rather than to attack, that build bridges rather than burn them. This doesn't mean we become passive or allow ourselves to be mistreated. It means we learn to assert our boundaries and express our truth without aggression, without cruelty, without the need to diminish or hurt the other person. We can be firm and clear while still being respectful and kind. We can disagree without being disagreeable. We can stand up for ourselves without tearing others down. Throughout this day of transformed communication, we also become aware of the power of silence. Not every moment needs to be filled with words. Not every thought that arises in our mind needs to be spoken aloud. Sometimes the most powerful communication happens in the spaces between words, in the comfortable silence shared between two people who are truly present with each other. Yogananda taught that silence is the language of the soul, and that by cultivating comfort with silence, we deepen our capacity for meaningful communication. We also discover the transformative power of speaking words of appreciation, encouragement, and recognition. So often, we take the good things in our lives for granted while focusing our attention and our words on what's wrong, what's missing, what needs to be fixed or changed. But when we make a conscious effort to acknowledge the positive, to express gratitude, to recognize the efforts and qualities of others, we create an atmosphere of goodwill that makes all communication easier and more effective. A simple "thank you" spoken with genuine feeling can brighten someone's entire day. A word of encouragement offered at just the right moment can give someone the courage to persevere through difficulty. A sincere compliment can help someone see their own worth and potential. These small acts of verbal kindness cost us nothing, yet their value is immeasurable. As the day draws to a close, we take time to reflect on what we've learned and experienced. We notice how different our interactions felt when we brought full awareness to our communication. We observe how people responded to us differently when we spoke with genuine kindness and respect. We recognize the moments when we succeeded in maintaining our awareness and the moments when we slipped back into old patterns. We do this reflection without judgment, simply noting what we've learned so that we can continue to grow. The beautiful truth that Yogananda understood is that this single day of conscious communication is not just an isolated experiment. It's a doorway into a new way of being. Once we've experienced the power and the peace that comes from speaking with awareness, kindness, and truth, we can never quite go back to our old unconscious patterns without noticing the difference. The seed has been planted, and with continued practice and attention, it will grow into a completely transformed way of relating to others. This transformation extends far beyond our personal relationships. When we change how we talk to people, we change the energy we bring into every space we enter. We become a force for harmony rather than discord, for understanding rather than confusion, for love rather than fear. We discover that we have the power to uplift others with our words, to heal wounds, to bridge divides, to create connection where there was separation. The practice that begins with a single day becomes a lifelong journey of ever-deepening awareness and ever-expanding compassion. We continue to refine our communication, to notice more subtle patterns, to align our words more completely with our highest values and our deepest truth. And in doing so, we not only transform our own lives but contribute to the transformation of the world around us, one conversation, one interaction, one conscious word at a time.